Welcome to part 2, where I talk about medium games on the Stoneaxe Shelves. And before we launch into that, I just want to make a slight addendum to the small box games. Legend Untold arrived today, so I haven't obviously had the chance to play it, but it looks very fun. Nice thick rule books and some chunky dice. Not even taking the cards out yet, so that's all brand new to me, and I look forward to playing that. First up is Sorcerer King. This is in my collection purely for collecting reasons. I've made a video about it. I love the artwork, I love the board, the big map board that you get, and the nice chunky chits and the cards and the very old school instruction book. Great stuff. I have that still purely as a collector. From the nostalgia of seeing it advertised in White Dwarf magazine years ago, seeing this amazing cover. I've also made a video about King's Bounty. This is a bit like Runebound in a way. Nice thick rulebook. The game world seems a lot richer than it needs to be. It's quite interesting. The solo game's nice and good. Sorcerer King, I will say, doesn't really work solo, but all the other games do that I'm covering. All the games in my collection work well solo, apart from Sorcerer King. Right. Very much an RPG in a box, this one, even with your character sheets and your lovely big map. I've shown all of this in the King's Bounty video I did, and it's also nice that you get the dice, of course, and money. So you're going out capturing criminals, and in the solo game you have to, when you find the dragon, or when the dragon comes into play, then you have a timer counting down, and you need to defeat the dragon before that timer runs out. Good fun. Very Runebound-ish. I have a bit of a thing for Victory Point games, pizza boxes. Dawn of the Zeds, I've played this once. I didn't do very well, but there's such a lot of depth to this. This is a game for the long haul. You know, it will take me years to get to grips with a game like this, but I got it from someone in Poland. I got it second hand, and yeah, great stuff. Fascinating game. I do like the games where there are the event cards drive what's going on. Yeah, and you get a jigsaw map and a fold-out map. So depending on what size you want to do. Nice thick rule books and trackers and things. As I say, I've not played it much, but I look forward to mastering it over the years. And my final Victory Point game in my collection is Caucus Night, first edition. There was absolutely no way I would pay for the second edition, so I managed to find the first edition for a good price. Again, it's the pizza box version, and I really like this game. It's enjoyable. It's slow paced because you know you can only do one action per turn really. And I've got a couple of extra characters, the Nymph and the Tinkerer, but I've not got any of the expansions. Laser cut components and a paper map. The standees don't really stand very well, but never mind. I like the vibe of the game. I really like the events in this one. They really set the spooky atmosphere. It's definitely a game to play this time of year, so I probably will sometime in October. I do like this one. Great artwork. The instruction book is a bit crazy and a bit all over the place, but yeah, I really like this one. So basically this is a kind of simple dungeon crawl where you are going onto a pirate ship which is on fire and infested with skeletons, and you're trying to steal treasure. So why wouldn't I like a game like that? The components are great. I love these little guys, they're brilliant. Deckhands, dice are nice and colourful. That's your fight die. All the rest show you the intensity of the flames in your part of the ship. Some different characters to choose from. These groovy little things to mark how much you are suffering from heat and exhaustion from the flames. Just a great little game. You've got all these tiles to build your ship out of. As you discover it, you've got cards which you turn over to show what happens, whether the deckhands move or the pirates move, these skeletons, or anything else, and what changes about the condition of the fire. Speaking of fire, there's a fire engine just across the road right now. Anyway, nothing to do with me. So, a really neat dungeon crawl, slightly fiddly. It's easy to forget the odd rule or two, so it's always good to do a bit of a refresh through the rulebook to make sure you're not forgetting anything important. Great game, Dead Men Tell No Tales. I've made a video about Runecast, and it's a game which Tom Vassell hates. Was it Tom Vassell? No, it wasn't Tom Vassell. It was Sam Healey. I like it. It's really stupid. The rules are sort of okay. The artwork's great on all these battle boards, and you get these characters you can pick from randomly. There's quite a few. Loads of these chunky custom dice. Gone out of focus. The rules are odd. The mechanics don't really make a great deal of sense. If you use an ability to add more dice to your pool, you're just as likely to roll something bad as you are something good. Kind of. So it's ridiculous. I've made a full video about it, and but I do enjoy it for some reason. You know, you can disengage brain and just roll lots of dice. Very silly, and it's all about Vikings. Now we're going to talk about a couple of Z-Man games. This is Apocalypse Chaos. It's a puzzle game with a sci-fi theme. I printed out the FAQ because the rules aren't great. They're quite vague, but you can. There are several adventures in here, missions, and it tells you how to create your own using all these 4 characters, all these different rooms, and you can build 3D things by putting rooms on these stands. Chunky custom dice. You've got AI on the cards, so the enemies have set things that they do, and as more enemies appear, you have to counteract their different actions to try and not be destroyed. I'm terrible at this game. I'm really, really bad at it. I cannot plan for the actions of the enemies. It's just not the kind of thing I'm good at. But I do like the game. Yeah, you can use 1 character or a few, up to 4. I like it. I'm rubbish at playing it. Apocalypse Chaos. I don't play this game a lot, but it is a good, solid game based on Pandemic with a Cthulhu theme. You've got a really nice board. You're going through Arkham, Innsmouth, and Dunwich, and Kingsport. So you can visit all these places. The enemies will spawn. The cultists will spawn across the board. You have Shoggoths you have to be careful about. You've got to close gates. You have a madness die, which is great fun. It's the only die in the game. It's basically a card-driven game. And really nice miniatures which I've used in some of my Gothic horror videos. Fun game. I just don't play it that much, but I do quite like it. I don't imagine myself ever winning it for some reason, but yeah. I'm not sure if it quite gets the Arkham Horror thing. I've never played Arkham Horror, but it's sort of meant to be similar in a pandemic style. But yeah, I'm not wild about the game, but it's got great miniatures, and you know, it's mechanically it's perfectly fine, I guess. Speaking of Cthulhu, this is the Cards of Cthulhu. I've just got the base game. There is an expansion which adds an extra board, but I can't imagine being able to cope with 5 boards. It's basically patience. You have to prevent the cultists from filling this track up. You have to be careful about the horrors appearing, because they make life really difficult. And when gates are open, they bring more cards through, so there could be more enemies making your life really difficult. Horrors appear asleep until there are enough minions to wake them, and then the horror will protect the minions, otherwise the minions protect the horrors. It's really weird. And the minions also protect the gates, so you have to defeat them before you can attack the gate. It's a fun game. Got nice custom dice. You've got metal coins, which are great. Got all these cards for your characters and the deck that you have to work through with all the different items and companions and monsters. So you get this little handy sheet there, and there's also there are also some short stories at the back. Cthulhu fiction. There we go. Which is a really nice touch from Dan Verson Games. Excuse you. The Cards of Cthulhu. I quite enjoy it. I don't play it as often as I used to, but yeah, it's ultra random. But I did complete it once with the Doctor, and I was very pleased. But I doubt I'll ever win again. But yeah, it's okay. Now, if you watch some of my Tabletop Obscurities series, you'll know that I've done videos about some of the other Games Workshop games. Chainsaw Warrior, The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, and Dungeon Quest. But this Rogue Trooper is the one that has stayed in my collection, because I have loved Rogue Trooper for years, the board game. I think it's great. I've made 3 videos about it actually, so you can see a complete playthrough of the game. It's a great Richard Halliwell game. I won't get it out, but brilliant. Very like a sort of room-bound quest style game. You're going across the planet, completing missions and trying to find clues as to the identity of the traitor of the Quartz Zone massacre. And it's a game I really like. And so next time we'll be talking about the big box games. We're talking sort of room-bound size, roughly, and some that are even bigger than that. So that's what we'll be doing then. Also upcoming, I'm planning to make a video or 2 out of my group role-playing game, which we'll be doing on 12th of October, and I'll try and put some videos together after that. So we shall see you then. Thank you for watching.